Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a different video for you today. I'm having one of those days where I'm just at home not really doing anything, so I thought that I would make a Disney video. Anyone that knows me will know I am obsessed with everything Disney. Quickly, my Disney story. I have been obsessed with the parks since I was little. I've been going to all the parks and I have actually done all 5 Disney resorts in the world. That is Orlando, Anaheim, California, Disneyland Paris, Disneyland Hong Kong and Disneyland Tokyo, and I'm looking forward to Shanghai eventually in the near future once it opens. I was also lucky enough to take part in the Disney International College program in the summer of 2014, where I was a deep water certified lifeguard at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon in Orlando, Florida. And recently, obviously being sick, I have spent a lot of time at home, so I am watching Disney Channel on repeat and lots of Disney films. I was lucky enough to have a really short trip to Disneyland Paris with my boyfriend just before my most recent round of surgeries. I have visited Disneyland Paris so many times across my life, and I've gone all different times throughout the year. I've stayed on property, I've stayed off property, and I just noted down a few tips on my iPad and I thought I'd share those with you today. I'm gonna jump straight in. Tip number 1. I think the best thing to do on your first day in the park is book a character breakfast. And now they have these at Cafe Mickey and in the Disneyland hotels. If you stay on property, it is included a free continental breakfast, but a character breakfast I strongly recommend. In the parks, in the peak of summer and Christmas, you could be waiting half an hour, 40 minutes to an hour to meet Mickey Mouse and your favourite characters. At a character breakfast, you hit 2 birds with 1 stone. You get a yummy all you can eat breakfast. You also have the characters come to your table, you get interaction, you get photos, and it's just the perfect way to start off a Disney holiday and as well make sure that you do get your character fix in case it is far too busy in the park. Okay, moving on to tip number 2, and this is on the theme of dining. I recommend that you book your dining reservations in advance, especially if there's a big group of you. You will need to know that you definitely have dinner, lunch, breakfast reservations. For example, me and my boyfriend, being 2 people, we found out that if you go to the restaurants around half an hour before you want to eat, you can ask and inquire if they have any reservations available for 2. However, in a family or a group bigger than 2, I'd suggest that you definitely book them in advance over the phone. You can do that on your trip. Number 3, and now this is a tip concerning food again. I would suggest that you take small snacks to have throughout the park to kind of tide you over. This was really good for me and my boyfriend because we'd have a really big breakfast and then we'd just have a few snacks that we bought from home and then have dinner. Another tip just concerning food is that a lot of the meals are big enough to share. Me and my boyfriend would share the ribs and the chips, and you could say get a main meal and then a side order of chips, and then that could feed you and anyone else in your family. You don't need to have 1 meal each because you might then have a lot of waste, and it also could save money considering theme park food can be quite expensive. Number 4 is a very probably obvious tip, but I thought I'd say it anyway. Arrive early and stay late if you can. So arriving early means that you can be first in line for the big attractions that later in the day, once the park fills up with families, will have really long queues. So for example, we went straight for Big Thunder Mountain when we had our first day in the Disneyland park, and we went straight for Crush Coaster, which again doesn't have a fast pass in Disney Studios, so we were in there, rode that ride before the big rush of the middle of the day. Tip number 5, this is concerning fast passes. So in Disneyland Paris, oh my god, thank goodness, they still have paper fast passes, which is a blessing, and it just means that you need to pay attention to the fast pass times. If it's 12 o'clock and the fast pass return time isn't till 4 o'clock, you cannot get a fast pass for any other attraction until 4 o'clock, until you have then used up the fast pass for the previous attraction. So when you're looking around the park and at fast pass times, try to kind of plan accordingly. If there's something that's in only an hour, you could fit in a smaller ride or maybe a show. If there's something that's maybe 3 or 4 hours, you need to decide whether it's worth it. Tip number 6 is concerning long days in the park and when you are feeling really tired. I would suggest riding on the train in the Disneyland park. It's a good way to sit down, recharge, and you also get really nice views of the park, and you can actually use it to get from Fantasyland, Frontierland, etc. So it's a good way to navigate the park as well as take a rest. Also, things such as the shows in Disney Studio and the Animation Academy, it's a good chance to, in the summer months especially, it does get quite hot, so just to cool off and have a little recharge before going off and running around and acting like a child. Number 8 is Again, an obvious one, do pick up a park map and do pick up a times guide so you know when the parades are, the fireworks, you know where and when you can meet your favourite Disney characters and princesses, and so you will be able to plan your day accordingly. Tip number 9 concerns cast members, and as anyone who knows who's been to any of the Disney resorts, please always ask cast members. We are more than happy to help you. There's no such thing as a silly question, and we literally have to give you an answer. And so they are there to help you and make your holiday more enjoyable. So if you do have a question, do just ask. Not many people realise there is actually a bag check, and this can take 15-20 minutes. Sometimes you walk straight through, but you do need to plan this into your day. Another thing just regarding the Disney parks is you should really make use of the walkways either side of Main Street USA. Now this, as far as I know, is only in Paris. So in the main parks you have Main Street USA, which is the main way to get to the castle and all the other lands. In Paris, you can actually go not only through the shops, but they have walkways either side, and so that really helps. I would definitely say on the first time you arrive to the park, walk down the middle of Main Street USA and just soak it all up and be like, oh yeah, I'm in Disney. But then if you are in a rush or you need to get to the RER, you need to get to your bus, you need to get to the next park, I would just say use the walkways. It really saves time. Tip number 10 or 9, I don't really know, I've lost track. But I would suggest getting a bag together with your friend or your family and just have one bag designated and then share it around. So you have things like waterproofs, water bottles, tissues, sun cream, park maps, snacks, all in one designated bag, and that just makes it so much easier for your trip. Second to last thing I want to talk about is staying on property versus staying off property. Most of the time I have stayed on property, and that's so easy because you can get the Eurostar straight to your hotel. You can even go from the Eurostar straight into the park and leave your bags, and then your bags will be at your resort hotel once you've finished your day in the park. It's really good service. I did that at Christmas with my friend Frankie, and it was so good to have half a day in the park. As soon as we got there, we were just ready to go. Another benefit of staying on property is obviously the included continental breakfast, so you can really fill up and then head out to the park on the free bus service that they have. Some are actually close enough to walk if you stay at things like the Sequoia Lodge and New York hotels, which are kind of at the back of the Disney Village, which is like the downtown Disney area, so you can actually walk to the park. It's really easy to get to and from, like that is definitely one of the benefits. There's free Wi-Fi. Tip on the Wi-Fi, actually there's no Disney Wi-Fi in the parks. You have to go to the Disney Village, or if you stand close enough to the Disney Hotel, you can just about mooch off it. That's a little tip there. But I would suggest that you do some research if you are staying in Central Paris. The RER line A is the red line, and it goes from Central Paris to Marne-la-Vallée. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, and that is the main way into Disneyland. When staying in Central Paris, you'll want to stay at a station that is on that line. I recently stayed in somewhere called Nation, which was located on the Paris Metro line as well as the Marne-la-Vallée line. So we kind of had the best of both worlds. If we wanted to go to Eiffel Tower, we could, but then we also were really close to go to Disney in the mornings. My final tip is so cliche, but anyone who knows me knows that this is just me. When you are there, just soak it up. Soak up all that Disney atmosphere and the smells and the music, and just have a little moment to yourself and just be like, wow, I'm in Disneyland. And you will feel so good on the inside. I don't know, I just get so happy when I'm in Disneyland, and just Disney resorts in general. You just have to appreciate every little thing is done for the guests' entertainment. So you can sit there and find something new and exciting to look at and think about, and just sharing those moments with your friends and family is just, gosh, I sound so cliche, but it is honestly the best feeling. And I really, really hope that people, when they get there, they do just open their minds, open their hearts, and let in all the Disney feels and just have an amazing holiday. And I hope that my tips have helped you plan your next holiday, and hopefully when you are there, you can utilize some of my tips. I honestly get really happy talking about Disney, so I'll probably do loads of Disney videos whilst I'm recovering from all my treatment, and I'm just really happy that I get to share something I love on the internet, and hopefully I can help other people love Disney too. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, please follow my blog. I'm writing about my current journey with thyroid cancer, so please give a thumbs up, and I hope to post something soon. Thanks everyone, bye.